Hello. Today we're working on this 2011 Hyundai Genesis Coupe. This does not belong to me. This is one of my buddy's cars, and he recently blew it up. So today we're going to start by trying to figure out what's wrong with it. We kind of showed some of this footage in earlier videos, but this is all the complete Hyundai video. So sorry if there's some repeats early in the video. Bear with us. We will get to new stuff. The issue we're trying to fix here is a misfire. Dakota has already swapped spark plugs and ignition coils around with no change in the misfire. He's done a compression test, wet and dry, and really low on compression on a couple cylinders. So we're trying to figure out what's going on with this. So on day one, our goal was to get the heads off. We didn't quite make it on day one, but we started getting in that general area. There's a lot of stuff to take off before these heads can come off. All right, this is what we're done for today. Heads are still on, timing cover's still on, but that water crossover tube in the back is gone, and we got the alternator out, and we got the valve covers off. Both of these side tubes go to that water crossover pipe. Got the upper intake off, all the injectors, the fuel rail, got the harness out of the way. So we're well on the way. We are now on non-consecutive day number 2. Now what we're trying to achieve here by pulling the cylinder heads off, we're trying to be able to look down in the cylinder bore and see if we can see signs of piston ring damage, damage to the head gasket, damage to the head itself, or damage to the block. We're trying to figure out exactly what the source of the low compression is so that we can properly repair it. We don't really know exactly why it's got low compression, we just know that it does. So we're trying to look at everything and figure out what's going on. All right, we got the one head off. The other cylinder head, we have all but this back head bolt loose. This one decided to strip. So that's going to be a fun adventure. But we may not even need to go down that road at all because we've seen some things that are not great. You can see in this cylinder here, and easier to turn the light off actually, down at the bottom of the cylinder, there's a lot of vertical wear. This one here, a lot of vertical wear. This one here has some too. I had to turn the motor over to see it. Same thing. So we're gonna need a full, probably an entire engine. That's a lot of wear, and I'm not sure how well that's gonna hone out. So non-consecutive day number 3, we decided to replace the engine. We have a junkyard engine with low mileage sitting elsewhere out of frame, and we're removing the remains of this engine from the vehicle. It's not super hard. We've got almost all of it done already to pull the cylinder heads off. We're done. Engine is out. We're going inside. Still lots left to do. This is now the end of non-consecutive day number 4 of working on the car, and most of the day we didn't get good footage of. Dakota spent many hours switching a bunch of parts which were good off of the old motor onto the new motor. So we didn't just take a junkyard engine and stick it in. We actually went through it and basically resealed the entire engine. He swapped over injectors and accessories and all kinds of good stuff. And we got it bolted in the car on the motor mounts with like 2 bell housing bolts started before non-consecutive day number 5 started, which is actually consecutive day number 3. Just maximum confusion. Now most of this day we just spent fixing wiring and getting the last of the bell housing bolts in and putting the serpentine belt back on and exhaust, a bunch of little stuff, but all the little fiddly things you have to do to make an engine run. Drink up, little buddy. How dead is your battery?
Well, it's been unplugged this whole time, so
Hopefully not.
it might not be dead.
Do you have the keys?
I don't.
Okay, I'll go get them. It's actually not on the way. All we got left is the radiator, the condenser, the fans, and the bumper, right?
Yep.
And the brakes.
Yeah.
You don't really need brakes anyway.
Yeah.
It's kind of extra.
Got the optional Brembos, but
Your horn works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got one or the other. That's all you need.
Whoa.
Don't start it yet. Turn the ignition on. We'll check for fuel leaks before we
You got it.
fire it up. Turn it all the way off and then back on again. I think you're good. Send it. That doesn't sound very promising. Crank it some more. Oh, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. What the fuck?
What's leaking?
Looks like oil? Oh, that's probably tranny fluid. This is probably your tranny cooler.
Oh shit! Yeah, it is.
It runs. It makes
Sounded
noise.
good. I didn't hear misfire.
It was smoking out the back, which makes me think that
The oil residue.
that collector. It looked like exhaust smoke, like it was leaking out, like the exhaust was leaking.
Oh really?
Yeah. Well, fuck yeah. All right, let's get the radiator and the condenser and hook it up, and it fired.
It did.
It made noise.
And it didn't sound like it used to.
It did not sound too bad. Yeah, it might be time to change your tranny fluid. That shit's a little dark. It's supposed to be red.
Yeah.
That's not very red.
No.
Now that our transmission cooler lines have puked all over the floor, and we've heard the engine run a little bit and made fairly certain it's going to be okay, we decided to put in the radiator, condenser, and transmission cooler assembly all back in the car, so we could let it run for a little bit longer. We can actually bleed out the cooling system, and we can make sure everything is going to be perfect and work as it should. Fire that bitch up, boy. But it does run very smooth.
Yes, it does.
I didn't see anything leaking. I do smell burning oil. How'd the brakes feel?
Feel fine. I just got that off.
You got good oil pressure? Oh, you have no way of knowing. Yeah, this upper hose is still ice cold. It just occurred to me, you just filled the overflow tank and not the actual radiator.
Oh shit.
Just touch that upper hose and see what the temperature is. Warm at all?
It's not warm, but I know that there's definitely coolant in it.
Okay.
It got all the way down here and then it filled back up.
Oh, cool. The thermostat open then.
Yep. Damn, I wish I can get fucking hose.
Yeah.
And I can wrap it with duct tape.
I've got it's like bead sealer, like liquid tire. I
Might work.
glue it shut. I have to sit here for 30 minutes or so for it to
Yeah, because it's
set
leaking on
the-
the.
on
It's
the.
dripping now.
Yeah. Go ahead and shut it off.
Yeah, press the button. Here, I'll
Quick, quick, quick! Turn it off! Turn it off! Quick, quick, quick!
I was trying to figure out what the deal was. So what's wrong with it?
That hose is split and leaking. Yeah.
I get a hose. I was about to say, I guess I'm just expecting the car to be higher. It moves.
Now my engine light's on.
Do a burnout.
That's it.
Always gonna get stuck in the field.
Jinx him like that.
Sorry, we have plenty of
Things to get
things
out
to
with.
pull him out.
Good. Good. Good.
That SpongeBob meme.
Yep.
You're good. You're good. Just after this, Dakota drove the car all the way home, and it wasn't without issue. We did end up finding an oil leak later. He still had to replace that coolant hose that we kind of butchered together, and he ended up finding a knock sensor that we had left unplugged and an O2 sensor we left unplugged. So we're not perfect. We make mistakes, but we got it all back together and running, and it is now his daily driver once again. So thank you very much for watching. We will see you guys next time.
Human being. Because I think you'll stop killing things when you're 10. I know. But guess what? Look at me. That lizard lost its life forever. It's never coming back.